Hey everyone! Every single Linux distro gives you a different kind of experience, obviously. And that means that when you install it, you get different kind of software built in there. And that means that every distro has their own desktop environment, set of tools installed, set of programs installed, and also sometimes it does not play well with the software you want to run. For me, the DaVinci Resolve was the main problem. I wanted to run it on my PopOS desktop environment, which is using Cosmic Desktop, which is built on top of GNOME, and that uses Wayland as a display protocol instead of X11. And that's the main problem, because DaVinci Resolve was designed for X11 primarily, and I've run into some issues. And today we are going to take a look at how to replace your desktop environment on your PopOS installation. And the spoiler alert, sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes you run into problems. So this is Linux. You're trying your best to get everything to run together because there are so many modules, there are so many components. Sometimes it doesn't like each other. So you just try it. Watch until the end so you can understand what happened to me and how I fixed it. So the problem that I run into that sometimes you actually want to have an X11 session, because by default we have a Cosmic Desktop, which is basically a GNOME, and then some customizations on top of it, and it uses Wayland underneath. But in some cases you actually want to run X11 because some applications are still not capable to run correctly using Wayland. Unfortunately, even in 2026. One of such cases is Resolve, DaVinci Resolve. So if I run it right here, this is the Wayland. Here it is. Basically, I cannot even drag window around. If I open my project here, for example, yeah, I don't have that file there and I need to run it as a GPU accelerated, but that doesn't matter. So as you can see, I cannot even drag the window around. And I think the problem here is the Wayland, because I need to run it using X11. Yeah, there are some customizations that you can use to actually run it even here, but I believe that for some applications I just want to use X11 and that's it. And I think Gparted also sometimes doesn't run properly. Let me launch it. So Gparted, and as you can see, it does not work. It doesn't work. If you launch it using the command line, as you can see, there are some problems here and there are ways around it. But as you can see, it just doesn't start this way. So we need to think about switching environments, at least to run some of the apps. And if we go to System76 website, we can see the guide how to switch environments here. For example, they recommend using Mate, Cinnamon, GNOME, just a stock GNOME, KDE Plasma, and other managers here, which this one actually looks nice. Yeah. XFCE also is nice, and it's actually quite a simple guide. You can follow it and use it. The problem here is that those desktop managers typically actually bring lots of dependencies, and those dependencies can ruin your experience using the machine, basically. And I decided, why not just install something lightweight that does not have any dependencies at all? And that's how I got to Openbox. Well, here it is, basically the website. You can follow some installation guide here, but let me actually show it to you and install it. So first of all, before installing anything, just check your session type. In case of PopOS, it's going to be the Wayland in most of the cases, but just to double check. Wayland, yes. So we have Wayland right here. So we need to install Openbox and at least some additional dependencies. This command is going to install Openbox, opconf, and xterm. Let's run it. Okay, so we're going to install those dependencies, and as you can see, there's not much stuff, which is good. Let's run it. Everything is installed, so I think it should just work. Let's actually try it out. So we need to log out and just use different session to log in to Openbox. All right, let's press this button to log out. Well, what I got is just a black screen after switching to that environment. There are multiple solutions available actually, so let's try it out. After trying to log in into Openbox session, it was just only the black screen, but even the cursor was not available. So I'm just trying out to figure out maybe I can customize it so that this cursor appears and I can just launch a terminal session and launch the apps. So Openbox is just really plain. There's nothing there. So basically I've created this Openbox folder. Now I need to copy stuff around and let's just see. So basically I'm going to copy the default settings for the Openbox to our config folder for the Openbox. Now we're going to copy the auto start. So basically we have something starting up after the session is initialized. Okay, Let's go to Openbox and let's see auto start. Let's add some start to auto start. Gedit auto start. And let's just add a few lines here, which is basically a cursor and a terminal. Let's save it. And let's hope that this is going to fix it. Okay, let's log out once again and see if it fixes it. Okay, here's the problem, guys. I still cannot run the Openbox session. It does not work for me. So I just see the black screen and that's it. So I've decided let's ditch that idea of installing Openbox and just use XFCE, because this one is minimal, I know it, and it should run pretty much fine, I believe. So something is wrong when you try to install Openbox for PopOS, and I don't see it here in this article, so most likely it was never tested. So let's actually use XFCE. Now let's install XFCE using the official guide. So we need to copy this command right here, basically just the desktop environment and also some goodies. So let's see. So this environment has much more stuff here, but at least I hope it is going to work out of the box, so I don't need to configure anything. Okay, and now there are problems with the official guide, because here, for example, it says GTM3 in official guide, and here we see the Cosmic Greeter. So basically this guide is outdated, so we need to pick the Cosmic Greeter, I believe. This is what actually used in current version of PopOS. Alright, so it's installed. So now we can actually log out and see how it works. I hope that this time it actually operates fine. Well, here's the problem, guys. The default display manager is Cosmic Greeter, and seems like it doesn't play well with all those alternative desktop environments. So I've decided to switch to LightDM, which is actually I have in my system, so you can actually check it like this. So let's actually try to switch it and see if it works. I should say that you should do the backup before doing all that, just in case. Okay, and let's pick the LightDM this time, so it should work. Okay, so now let's do the sudo reboot and hope it works. Guys, once I switch to LightDM, I can now finally switch to either Openbox or XFCE. Once I rebooted using the LightDM login manager, I was finally able to log in into XFCE and using the X11 environment, which means, yes, we finally fixed it. The main reason why we installed this desktop environment was to try it out DaVinci Resolve, so let's see. Okay, launch anyway. Let's see how it works. Okay, let's see. Yes, that's what I wanted actually, guys. I wanted to be able to use DaVinci Resolve full screen, and now it actually works using the X11 session. So now let's try Gparted. Gparted worked just fine, as you guys can see. So X11 applications are working well, finally, for me. I don't need to customize Wayland to be able to use it. I just can use this X11 session and it all works fine. So, well, that was the whole point of this video, to try out different environments. So we'll use the LightDM login manager and it's all gonna be working fine for Nvidia card. So let's actually log into Openbox and see how it works. As you can see, it's just desktop, so I can pick terminal emulator right here and everything works just fine. And session type is X11. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Please press the like button, subscribe, and see you soon.